everybody, welcome to the show. JB here. Let's talk about podcasting. I know it's an exciting time and a couple people have been asking me about equipment. Going to talk to you about some of the equipment that I use and discuss the idea of podcasting. You know, when I started back in 2005, 2006, there was probably 20,000 total podcasts. That's why I was top 25 in the world, was able to build the Morning Coach brand. But over the years now, they're saying there's like 50 to 60,000 of them done every month. It's pretty crazy. In fact, it's nuts. I used to tell people, hey, this is what a podcast is. Now everybody says, well, listen to mine. Well, if you're interested in doing a podcast as a residual business or adding it to the things that you do, I think it's great. I wouldn't consider it an acquisition model anymore. I think there's just too many people podcasting. But as far as retention, if you're good on audio, there's just about something about being in somebody's ears where you really connect with them. So what do we use? Well, first of all, for years, I used what was called an apogee mic. Probably the first, I wouldn't say the first couple hundred episodes because that was, I was plugged into a Sony computer and I don't even remember what microphone I used. But as the business started going in the middle 2000s, probably about 2008, 2009, my vocal coach, Matt Kramer, came back from the NAMM music store and said, you got to check out this apogee mic. And so for years, I used an apogee mic. I'll put a picture here so you can see it. And that microphone was great. It served me well. I still have one of those in my place in Colombia, South America, that I use when I travel, and it is a serviceable USB mic. There's absolutely no reason you couldn't get away with using that. It's a great mic. The issue is today, even with these YouTube videos, I mean, people want good audio quality. They're expecting it. This one I'm actually recording in a Zoom F1 field recorder. I actually mic up underneath, and I always have this, even when I'm in the other studio and I'm using other microphones, or if I was using this microphone, which this microphone's amazing. I'll get into it in a minute. You want good audio. So I'm laving up underneath my clothes all the time with this to provide you good audio. I'm shooting on the RX100 Mark V, not on the GH5 right now, RX Mark 100 7, just so you know the technology I'm using with an external microphone. And the reason is you want good quality. So that apogee mic works, but people are really expecting better quality. So over the last year or so, not over last year, probably the last 3 years, I went to an apogee duet input device with this mic, which is a Shure SM7B. You've probably seen this on a Joe Rogan show. I've been using it for years. I got my Morning Coach little flag here. It just works. I monitor the sound with this Bang & Olufsen headphones that are just really comfortable. I love these things. And typically this is what I'm recording. I'm recording from the Shure into what's called a cloud lifter, which helps the gain. I'm not gonna get real technical, but helps the gain of this microphone into a Rodecaster Pro. And the Rodecaster Pro I'm really impressed with. Again, it's funny, every day I get interview requests to be on my podcast, but if anybody ever listened to my podcast, I've had Gary Vaynerchuk, Wayne Dyer, and James Redfield's Celestine Prophecy. I mean, people that have done these big things, and I get, literally every day, 2-3 requests to come on my show, but my show is me. It's called The Morning Coach. I get people started 15 minutes a day. I've done 3,500, but I get these requests. It's so crazy. They say, JB, I want to be on your show. I listen to it all the time, and it'd be great if I could be on there. I'm like, well, if you listen to the show, you know that it's just me, right? But the cool thing with the Rodecaster Pro is it has 4 different inputs, and they've actually color-coded those inputs so that you can have 4 different people. So people that are doing interview shows, like my friend John Lee Dumas, it's great because you can have multiple people in your show. Here in the studio, I don't need it. It's just me. And personally, if you're doing podcasting, I think that's much easier. There's a reason that I make the show about me, because then people want to listen to me and not the people that I'm interviewing. Do I do interviews? Yes, once a year. But at the end of the day, the show needs to be about you and about what you do. Can you do interviews? Yeah, John Lee Dumas has taught that model for years. I was John's 4th interview, and I also did one at 200 and some, and he really does interviews every day, and it works. But for me, because of the lifestyle that I want to have, I'm not into doing interviews. You got to get the people, you got to get the Zoom technology or whatever and make it work. It really gets challenging. But I will tell you, this Rode Procaster now lets you Bluetooth into your phone, your Apple phone or your Android phone. And the cool thing about that is you can do a phone interview, or you can use it as an interface into the computer. So basically now you don't need to use Zoom or Skype. You can use your Rodecaster Pro to do the interviews, and it's really just an awesome device. You can also put in some sound effects and stuff. Again, remember my reviews and things that I do here, I don't always use a lot of the other stuff. I like to keep things simple so I can go golf and do other things and build the residual income. So yes, I'm probably using literally 10% of the capacity of this Rode Procaster, but it is a great input device. So if you have an unlimited budget, this system that I use is probably going to cost you about $1,200. So if you're just getting started, that can be a kind of a big nut to crack. So what I would tell you is get just a snowball or some little microphone, go on YouTube and see what people are using, see what people that are just getting started using, and learn some of the basics. But understand this, that if you make it about other people, the show is not about you. And I don't know how long term that's going to work. It doesn't work in the way that I teach. You know, the way that I teach is you want to be make it about you and your energy and the things that you know, because that's what's going to connect you long term with your clients. Just like what I'm doing here on YouTube. You know, this is more of a technical station, even though I bring in some of the personal development, which is like my real job, right? And the coaching and the writing that I do. But I really try to make it about what I use. Like, this is a video that I would want to see. Somebody came and said, okay, JB, you've been podcasting for almost 15 years. You know, you've done almost 4,000 episodes. You're successful. You're paid at it. What do you use? What is the best stuff? Well, I'm going to tell you, the Shure SM7B, into the Cloud Lifter, into the Rode Procaster. You can't beat that. Into your Mac or into your... I'm not sure if it'd work with a PC because I don't use PCs. I've been getting a lot of comments about people that use PCs. I'll have to buy one soon because I use Chromebooks and then all Macs. Chromebooks for my writing, as you saw in the last video. And then PCs I don't use. I just don't have them. I haven't had a Surface a PC in years. But if you have the Rode Procaster, again, if I was searching for somebody that knew, like, I want the best podcasting equipment, well, what I would get is I would get the Rodecaster Pro, the Cloud Lifter, which increases the gain of the Shure, and I would invest in that, and then you've got literally one of the best systems there are. You get two of these bad boys into the Rode Procaster, and you can do some of the best interviews possible. I mean, that's what Joe Rogan's using. He just got $100 million for his podcast, right? So I just wanted to share with you some of the equipment that I'm using, the way that I use it, which is a little bit different for podcasting, and that it can work. And if you do your own thing, then the little Apogee mic can work, or a little snowball mic, that can work. But I'm just telling you, one of the things I'm noticing, even in the YouTube channel, because of the Casey Neistat years ago and the production quality of what people are doing, it's getting hard because you've got to compete with that. And who has the time to really spend into all the post-production? I know I don't want to do it. And that's why for me, like using devices like this and the new Sony A7 III, which is going to help me. Like, the reason I like the Sony so much is because the autofocus is so good, where my Panasonic GH5, it floats sometimes and it can ruin the shot. I know that this little Sony RX100 Mark VII has great autofocus. So same thing with podcasting. Yes, you can get by with the Apogee. I've built my audience to be able to do that. I use some Zoom I think it's an H6, which has multiple inputs too for different things. But I want the quality to be at the best that it can be. By the way, one other reason that this works so well is it does a good job of not picking up a lot of the ambient room noise. And here, how I've soundproofed this office is I've used a lot of bookshelves, right? And those bookshelves help kind of dampen the noise. I don't have a lot of soundproofing in here, especially in this office. In the video office, I don't have a lot either, but I'm going to start putting some up in there so that I can kind of just really rock that in there when I do my reviews. But that's another bonus of this microphone, where the Apogee kind of picked up a little bit of noise. But I'm going to tell you what, I'm in the bedroom down in Columbia, and I've got that Apogee, or I'm in Ibagué, Colombia, up in the mountains, and I got that Apogee mic, it works just great. But I think it works just great for me because I've been doing this for years, and the competition isn't so high. And I'm not getting a lot of new people, I'll tell you, into my podcast, because I don't think it's an acquisition model anymore. It's so hard because there's just so many people doing it. So your competitive level means you need to up your game probably and make sure you have high quality, though you can start with the lower end stuff. Okay, so for me, what do I use? I'll put links in the bottom. Right now, my main system is the Rode Procaster Pro with the Shure SM7B into the Cloud Lifter. It all connects together very easily and then runs into the Mac. Great system, probably the most professional you can get. In fact, the rumor is that Thriller from Michael Jackson was recorded with this microphone. Can't go wrong with it. Can't go wrong with the Rode Caster Pro. Can't go wrong with the Shure into the Cloud Lifter. Just a really great setup. Okay, so I'll put the links in the bottom. By the way, as always, if you like this video, please hit that like button. We're trying to grow the channel. We're having some fun here. And as always, make sure you click that subscribe with the little alert bell. If you don't, you won't get the future videos and the things that I'm doing. And believe me, I've got some great content coming. And make sure you comment. What are you using? Do you have a microphone that you're using? If you stumbled upon this video, I have I'm going to continue to say this in all my videos, the best group of YouTubers in the world, you know, the people that are watching this, because they're all technical and intelligent and awesome people. And so when you leave a comment, a lot of my viewers actually are a lot smarter than I am and are doing some pretty cool stuff, and they'll leave amazing comments. And I love that because that helps everybody with the channel, and everybody then can read the comments and we can have dialogue there on maybe you've got a better microphone, or maybe you want to disagree with me. That's totally cool. I'm here to help, and I'm here to share what I do, not so much to get so far into the technical jargon, but just what I use that actually works. And I actually make money doing this stuff. All right, so leave a comment. Love to hear from you. If you've got a question, leave it. That allows me to do other videos, okay? And I'll keep coming to you. 3 to 4 videos a week is my plan. Who knows? That's what I'm planning right now. But sometimes I do 5, sometimes I do 7, sometimes I do 1. But I'm always here. And if you click that little alert bell, you'll make sure you'll get them. All right, so thanks for watching. Until the next one, go have a great one. And I'll be right back here on this Morning Coach YouTube channel. Go have a great day.